Just connecting here. Give me one moment and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So welcome everyone. Today's open Q&A for self-publishing is starting now. I am here live and we're going to talk about some things that have been making me crazy over the last couple of weeks, which is using AI as a writing partner. And many of you know I am a strong advocate of AI, but what when it starts doing some crazy things that just make you want to scream at your AI instead of being kind? So this is April Cox. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been learning and how I've been using AI for this 100,000 word manuscript that I'm helping an author with, and
Wow.
some of the things I've come up against and ways that I've been getting around it. So, welcome. If you are here watching on YouTube, I'm monitoring here with you, and I am happy to have you join us live on Zoom if you would like. You can go to aprilcox.com/events and you will be redirected. I will post that in the links here. And please do post in the comments, what are you doing for AI editing or working with AI as a writing partner? Tell me more in the comments on YouTube and here for those of you that are here with me live on Zoom. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And I want to hear more about how you're using AI in your writing journey. And then, of course, we're going to start with that as a topic, but then we're going to open it up to any self-publishing Q&A. So I'll try to keep it simple and we'll go from here. So um, as I mentioned, just to give you a little bit of a background, one of the gentlemen that I'm working with recently, and I'm finding more and more a lot of adult writers or writers for adult novels are coming to me asking for help. And when we normally, I would just say, engage with an editor and kind of pass that individual along to work with an editor to refine their manuscript. But I felt like this was an opportunity that I could help him to reduce the word count and reformulate his manuscript with some self-editing before we move it on to an editor. Because when you have a manuscript that's that large, it's very expensive to get through the editing process. So while I had been using the writing assistant kind of functionality, I wasn't doing it for these really large manuscripts. I was doing it more for children's books and reformulating some things and asking some questions. Hey, does this rhyme? Can we do better? So just going into this whole new world of using it as a writing assistant has been very eye-opening. So I'm going to pause and just ask for those of you that are here with me, are you doing anything with your manuscripts or things that you're focused on with your writing where you're using AI as a writing partner or a developmental editor to get you started and to prepare your manuscript for sharing with an editor? Anyone? Let me see the chat here. So Stacy says, I use it to come up with ideas for story development. That's a great option, Stacy. I have done the same with my most recent book too, just kind of brainstorming about other ideas for things in my series. And I do find that kind of thing being really helpful. Others, how are you using AI?
Um, I like to use AI for the back of the book, blurb for
Okay,
Amazon, and I
okay,
love using it for my inside Amazon, my page, and I have used it for when I started my keywords as far as getting ideas. I didn't necessarily find that they were a good starting point for me, so I could
right.
then string it and make it a little bit into a phrase. And so they were good.
Mm-hmm.
He had given, or he, it had given me like one word things. And then I've used it for the influencers like you did the other day. And I've
Right.
used it for, I pretty much ask a lot of questions.
Hmm.
How can I do this? How can I make it better? And then I redefine it and I read it. And I do start always as be an expert. In fact,
Right.
today has nothing to do with writing, but my passport is expiring. I said, okay, you need to be an expert in passports. Now, how do I do this? And then told me exactly how to. So it's a
Nice.
wonderful resource, and I've used it in the past to get local schools. And the wealth of information that it can do within seconds is outstanding.
It is amazing. And that's why I thought that using it as a writing partner would be really helpful. I have a gentleman that I work with regularly, and he writes science fiction kind of fantasy stories, and they're very long, mid-grade or YA novels. So he uses it as a writing partner and had shared some of what he was doing with me. So I thought, hey, I can do this. Let me just see if I can help my new author with kind of going through the process. So, one of the things that I found most of all when it comes to Chat GPT or even my Authorpreneur AI is it's built on Chat GPT. So, it's got a lot of the inherent flaws that come along with Chat GPT. Things that I found were, um, and so, well, let me take a step back. How I was using it, I started this process by uploading the manuscript from my author. With his permission, of course. And because I'm using the plus version of GPT, it does not use anything that I upload for training AI or making it public. It's private, it's protected. So I felt pretty comfortable with uploading the manuscript and then saying, okay, give me an evaluation or a critique of this manuscript. And I love, and that's a really great way to use AI because it will evaluate what you've uploaded and give you a list of strengths and then a list of opportunities for improvement as well. So that was wonderful. And I thought, wow, this is really cool. It's giving us some great suggestions. Maybe we should move forward with the next level, which would be how would you take some of these suggestions? So one of the suggestions was that the length of the chapters was kind of all over the place and the pacing, it was a lot harder to follow the story. It didn't have like a beautiful story arc that moved easily from one chapter to another. It also mentioned that the number of chapters was small compared to a book this size. So I said things like, okay, for a book of this nature, which was more of a kind of manuscript, kind of life things in there, but also had information that was from a business perspective about environmentalism and helping the environment and things like that. So he was an expert in his field. He is an expert in his field, but he also was inserting some of his life lessons along the way. And so I think it will appeal to people more than just memoir. It will also appeal to people who are looking to make a difference in the world, and especially with environment and sustainability and things like that. So I was brainstorming back and forth with the author, with me, and looking over my shoulder. And it said, books like this are not typically 100,000 words. We probably want to get to that sweet spot. And we came up with around 60,000 as being a good target. So the next question I'm asking is, okay, so knowing everything that you've consumed about this story and given your critique, what how would you reorganize the book and separate it into more chapters so that they flow easily from beginning to end and they incorporate your critique and your suggested enhancements? So I thought, wow, if it could do that, that would be truly amazing. And sure enough, AI comes back with an outline, that very high level outline that says, here's how I would organize. And it was 12 chapters instead of 7, which was original. And it gave some high level details about the chapter structure and what would be like the title of the chapter and a short summary of what would be included there. So I thought, this is great. I'm just gonna nail this. It's gonna be so easy to work with AI and doing these kinds of things. Some lessons that I was learning in this process going through there is number one, AI does not do a good job if you give it a number of tasks all at once. If you say, do this and this and this and this, it's going to come back with maybe the first task, or it's going to get completely confused and sidetracked. A friend of mine that I work with calls it, says AI just has ADD. It definitely has ADD. It just goes off in these different directions, and it becomes a bit of an issue. So if you are interfacing with AI in this way, then take it one step at a time. Really break apart what you're trying to do into shorter steps. Another thing, so I got that far with this project and I was really excited. I think it took me maybe a couple of hours to get to this point. And I thought, wow, I have this outline. It's a high level outline. Maybe I should go deeper with it and ask it to map all this, 100,000 words, right? Map the salient points into their outline so that we end up with a more detailed outline. And I heard it referred to as beats before, like map all the beats or the topics that would go underneath each chapter. That going back and forth for another 30 minutes or so came back with a nice finalized version with the beats included. So I thought, wow, this is amazing. We have a mapping of the overall book and all of the salient points, the stories, the lessons learned, the things that need to be brought forward. And also we have a list of things by that time that AI thought went a little too deep. Like a lot of the technical stuff was way technical. And so it might serve a very small group of people that really wanted to know the technical details, but it was not appropriate for this particular outline and this particular book. So I knew where it was paring things down and where it was saving word count. And now I said, okay, I went to bed happy. The next day I said, all right, today I'm going to get this book finalized for Jim so that he can review it and we can talk about any tweaks he wants to make before we pass it over to his editor. So I'm not suggesting that anybody would use AI in place of an editor, because I do really believe you need a human being with experience in your genre to really edit things. But I went through this process and said, okay, now I'm thinking this is going to be simple. And this is where all hell broke loose. I said, okay, let's focus on what I had to get started that day was the overview of the full outline with all the beats and the proposed word count for each chapter. So I thought, this is fantastic because I now have a road map for this story that not only has this new format and flow, but it also has the proposed word count for each and every one that gets us to that 60 or 65,000 mark, which is the goal. So I said, okay, let's start with chapter one, and please write chapter one and focus on the target word count. I think it was like 1,500 words because it was an introduction or something. So it came back and said, here you go. And of course, I breezed through it and thought, hey, this is really good. I copied, and then I opened up Vellum and started pasting things in because I said, this is going to be easy. I'll just put it into and if you don't know what Vellum is, it's a formatting kind of software where you can just put each chapter in and then you can generate the final files you can upload to Amazon. So I thought this would be kind of cool, at least to have it in there so that when I generate it, I can generate something that really looks like a book for the author to read and to review and redline, and then we can pass over to the editor. So I did that all the way from chapter 1 to chapter 12, and then realized it was completely off with all of the word counts. So I've got all of these chapters into the book, into my vellum, and it said something like, we have 24,000 words. And I was like, what? That can't be right. So I go back with AI and I took the chapter that it downloaded for chapter one and I throw it in Word. And of course, Word tells me that it's 800 words. And then I do that with some of the 3,000, supposed to be 3,000 word chapters. And it was 1,400 words, right? So it ended up giving me, I went through all of this effort. This was a whole afternoon of doing these things, finally getting to the final chapter, realizing it had miscounted all of the stuff, all of the chapters, and I had basically wasted all of that time. So I went back to the drawing board and the next day and started with, you must keep, if you tell me it is this many words, you must stick with those word counts. And it apologized profusely. And if you've been working with AI, you know it does a lot of apologizing and makes you feel good. And it's like, I've got you. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this differently. And I spent another hour or so realizing it's still doing the same thing. And I'm thinking, how am I going to move forward with this if it can't even give me an accurate word count? So off into a rabbit hole on Google and YouTube and saying somebody must have really worked with this and found this issue. And it's true, people are complaining left and right about it, saying this is something that AI constantly struggles with. So the only solution that I found is make sure that they give you a chapter that you copy and paste it into Word and then paste it back to them and say, this is only 2,400 words. It's supposed to be 3,000. Please fix it. And it'll apologize again and then regenerate, and still it's short. So you have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's one step at a time. Don't let it go crazy with step after step after step. Don't let it go too far ahead of you without checking things. Otherwise, it's going to make you go back to the drawing board, because if you get to the end of a 12 chapter or 15 chapters and it's way off on word count, then now you're at a point of, how am I going to extend the words to get, because you can't easily go from 24,000 words to 60,000, right? So just make sure that if you are using AI, and there's a lot of benefits, but if you're using AI, be patient, check everything when it comes to word count. The other thing that I found with the AI learnings that I've been doing with using it as a writing partner is you're uploading all of these documents, you're giving it lots of information, chatting, strategizing, and then all of a sudden something's completely different. It gives me, I said, let's see where we are with the outline. Could you reprint that for me, or show me the outline again? And it was completely different. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to the outline we spent 3 hours working on? And it would be like, what outline? So it like forgets or hallucinates things. You might hear that hallucination kind of as a word that referring, when people are referring or complaining about AI, it tends to go off and do things. It's like it loses the connection to what you've been focusing on, and it forgets things. So I have really been racking my brains thinking there's got to be a better way to handle this stuff. And I started playing with like an app, creating an app that would hopefully handle these things and check AI's work and resubmit it and go through all of the frustration so that I don't have to. So I'm happy to go into that and show you what I've created so far. I'm going to be looking for some beta testers. So if you're working with large manuscripts and you would like to be a part of like testing this out and seeing if it could actually work for you, I would love to share that with you. So, oh, here's Kelly made a comment here. Kelly says, one time I uploaded my character sheets and used for voice check, and they got back to me and found 3 phrases that did not match the character's voice. It was mind blowing. So tell me more, Kelly, how you're using it and what you found beneficial. And then also, what are some of the frustrations that you've addressed? Are you running into some of the same things that I did?
Yeah, I actually use it for a lot of stuff, for like social media posts, hashtags, research the market to make sure that like my book is good for the next for the next uh, for the next book that I'm gonna launch, if it fits the market, if it's something that is trending or not. The same thing, I use it for optimizing my description and like on the Amazon listing, or sometimes I even upload my cover and I ask, hey, can you give me feedback on this cover? And they get back to me on colors, composition, and such, which are very helpful. But yeah, I do run into issues, mainly memory related issues. I
Okay.
noticed that it does not have the capability to like do like more than 2,000 words, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, I
Uh,
find that that's the case. It really does need to be, if there's something that's going to take a long time, it's like it's kind of stops halfway through. And I think part of that has to depend on the model that you're using with AI too. Some
yeah,
of them just only have so much bandwidth and then it stops. And it might stop halfway through what you're asking it to do. So it's very frustrating to kind of go back and generate. So if you can break things up into smaller steps
yeah,
and
like
subtasks, that's helpful.
I am multilingual and I translate my books to Portuguese. But the last book that I launched was kind of long because it was like a novel. And I was
Hmm.
like, maybe I can just throw in the AI, they can translate it for me and I can proofread it. I can fix the bad translations.
Right.
And I was like, okay, translate this for me. Ha. And they're like, okay, we're going to take 2 hours and get back to you. And every 2 hours or 3 hours, I would send a message, hey, how is the translation going? And he's like, oh well, we actually lost the file, you need to send it again. And that lasted like 4 or 5 days, and then
Yeah,
I
I'm
gave
going
up.
through that myself right now with this manuscript, and that's why I'm trying to see if I can do something, if I can kind of resolve some of those issues within the app that I'm writing. So
Yeah, I think it'll be very handy.
hopefully that will be better. But yes, I did find that same frustration of, you tell it to do something like go off and create a chapter, and then I'm back again saying, "Hello, are you done yet?" And thinking it's going to be a quick thing. No, I'm this far, and it gives you like little status. It's going to take another day or so to like write a chapter. Come on, this is like AI. We're so used to the instant stuff. So there's some weird new things happening, I think, with maybe some of the new models, that because I've not seen this kind of thing before. It seems to be recent to me. Is that something that you have been seeing happening previously and happening for a while, or is this relatively new, Kelly?
No, it has been happening like in forever, but I do feel like the updates that they have been doing are a little bit buggy. Like last update that they did was like at the end of July, I think. And on August 1st, I uploaded an image to review something. And they're like, you have reached your limit for the month. Come back in September 1st. I'm like, no, I have not. That's the first image that I uploaded today. So yeah, they're always like running into bugs, but just be patient, log out and log in helps. And I reached the limit of the conversations a lot. So like if you have been doing lots of like back and forth for a while, or you send too much images or too much information, after like I don't know 10,000 backs and forths or whatever, you
Hmm.
reach the limit of the conversation, and it can get like it can erase parts of your conversation, or it can give you errors when you give you answers. What I recommend you doing it is create a new chat and say, hey, pull the information from this chat. It's about this and this and this and this. Give me a brief summary of everything that we chat, and using all of the information that from that chat, can you answer the following questions? And then it
Right.
restarts, it refreshes, and
It
it helps a
refreshes
lot.
its memory. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it does forget things. I was talking with another author earlier, or yesterday actually, and he was saying that um, working with this GPT or chat GPT over months and months writing his latest book, and he asked it to come up with a name for a character, and it gave him a name that was already used previously for another character. And he said, don't you remember we already gave that to such and such a character? Can we come up with something new? And he's like, what do you mean we gave it to another character? So it didn't remember. So that's part of also what I'm trying to address with this app as well. Um, but I think that it's there are just some nuances. It's going to take time for AI to get through in some of these challenges. I think they'll get there. But if you are using it for building a complex manuscript or being a writing partner for you, then I think, at least understanding the challenges while they're working on making things better. And things are moving forward quickly, but it didn't help me with this 100,000 word manuscript because of all the challenges that I was having. So I just wanted to share that with you and share some of the recommendations that I have with regard to making things easier to test and easier to work through. And I think one of the things that many people don't realize is that there are some things you can do by creating your own custom ChatGPT. And think about this. Think about, if you're a regular user of ChatGPT, and you're starting new chats, or you're starting, projects and things like that, and you want it to remember all of the things that the way that you like to work with it. You have rules about how you're going to share information, what you want it to do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if it just knew all of that and knew how you like to work, how and remembered the documents and the things that you've uploaded? So this is something you can do by creating your own version of a customized chat GPT, which is actually not difficult at all. Anybody who has used chat GPT can create their own custom version of one. And so if that's something you want to go down that line, I'm happy to kind of show you some steps on how you can do it yourself. And I'll keep you in the loop with this app that I'm working on to hopefully give you better options with your writing to work through some of the challenges that we're currently facing with the GPT as a writing partner. So any comments or questions on that? Does anybody want to see anything? Want me to share what I've been doing so far with this app I've been talking about, or do you want to go in a different direction and go ahead and ask your questions? I am here for you. Whichever direction you want to go in, we'll open it up for that.
April, your app that you're creating, are you going to then make it available? Okay.
Yeah. Well, for people that want to be a part of the testing of it, if you've got, especially what I'm trying to do is find, half a dozen people that are writing long manuscripts and want to use it as a partner. If you've been frustrated by this kind of thing and I just want to see if my app makes it any better, any easier. So I can talk about that. I've basically whipped this app up in a couple of days, and it's got work to do, so there's more to it, but I am going to be looking for someone or a handful of people that are interested in doing some testing. I'm just looking on comments on the YouTube page here. So Stephen says, I argue with it all the time, and then it tries to flirt with me to get out of the doghouse. I love that, Stephen. I definitely see that it goes above and beyond when it thinks it's done something wrong. Hi, Tony. Nice to see you on YouTube here with us. Tony says, questions are most book covers created by Photoshop. ChatGPT told me that. So ChatGPT knows some things. There are a lot of covers that are where cover designers do use Photoshop. Some use different visual creation tools. I've actually seen some people using Canva, something as simple as Canva. But Photoshop is probably the most common, so I would say yes. Stephen says, share what you've been doing, interested in seeing that. So I will, except that I think I might have I was testing, getting ready for this today, and I was just going back and forth with this stupid thing. And it, hold on. I think I might have broken it. Just, how you ask it to do something. And this is the same thing with this new platform that I started using. I'll share that with you. But it's it's one of those things where you might ask it to do something similar to ChatGPT and it breaks something else. It fixes that one thing and breaks something else. So you got to kind of iterate a little bit with the app. So I'll share a little bit with you the app format that I'm using. Let's see. Tasks. Upload documents. All right. So this is really, really early on. It's not pretty. So what I have here is I just called it Writing Mentor. And I created a project for this thing that I'm working on for Jim. And what I'm doing is with this app, I'm integrating with ChatGPT, but I'm giving it rules and all kinds of things that I want it to do my way and not its way. So over here, I have like all of the uploaded documents that I want. I can allow it to upload the manuscript files, put them sorted in a certain category. And I have the ability to add multiple projects so that they're separate. I'm also doing some task tracking. Oops, see, error. I was managing and working with tasks a little while ago, and I think I messed that up. But links, I also have a place to store all of the links where that focus on the project, like this is the file folder for Google Drive, if there's anything else we need to share. And then I have the AI chat, which I've been going on and on and on with. So this is all integrated with ChatGPT. But the good thing about this, I did give it the ability to choose whichever model you want. But I also have it with some rules from my app that tell it, I want you to remember all of these things and load that up first. And then I'm generating tasks based on what I ask it to do. Like I'm waiting on here to show you. I understand now that you're looking for a first chapter structure. So I had to go back to the drawing board that aligns for Jim's book around targeted of 65,000 words. Let me just zoom in a little here. So it's got like a high level focus or structure, but I want it to go through now and make a deeper level of an outline. So it says, I understand, I'm focusing on creating a new chapter structure that aligns with your vision. I'll ensure it provides a fresh perspective while incorporating key themes. So as a result of this, the app identifies that I've got an AI task that's going to be functioning and it does like an auto check for me to see when that comes back. And then it's basically sending me a notification saying that the AI task is completed. And it's also allowing me over here, it's allowing me to also sort my own tasks for the project. So I've got tasks, I've got people as collaborators all on this one project, and I can create new projects and do different things. So here's the app version. I'm just going to go to replit.com. It is like life-changing, amazing place for people that have ideas or they have problems, but are not quite sure what to do, how to code anything, right? So replit.com is a no-code interface where you tell it what you want to do, what you want to create, like an author website or, something that's going to fix a problem for you. And so you give it the idea and then it will create the app for you. So it's really cool. It's kind of like chatting with AI, and it is an AI interface. So if I said, I want to create a website for author, website for my coaching business. I'll just say, I help authors publish self-publish, and keep 100% of the royalties. Here is my current website link where you can find information about me and my coaching. So I'm just going to put it here. I'm just wondering what it's going to do. So there, I put my self-publishing. Now I can also load up documents like specs. So I've actually gone to ChatGPT and said, I want to build an app in Replit, and this is what I want it to do. Can you give me a prompt I can put here in Replit so that it does accurately build my app? So you can use AI to help each other. And then I'm just clicking start chat. So here, Replit's going to just go on. It's making an implementation plan. You're getting a little bit of geekiness, and I'm sorry. I will promise that it'll only be a few minutes, and then we'll go back to self-publishing. But while this is making a plan, I would say there are going to be a lot of things you're trying to do that you think there's got to be a better way, right? What kind of things might you be able to create to solve your own problem, even if you're the only person that uses it, right? So here it says homepage with compelling value proposition, about page featuring April's story and credentials, services overview of courses, coaching, and done for you stuff. So now it's going here and it says I'm designing the visual preview of it. I already have a website, so it's no big, I'm not going to be like automatically shifting to a new website. But let's see what it does all by itself. Self-publishing your book doesn't have to be overwhelming. Book a free call, explore programs. Not sure where to begin? You're not alone. Are you just getting started? Take the first step. Need guidance and community? Go to the guided program. Do you want done for you publishing help? Book a call. It's created all this by itself, which is really cool. Now you might have a need for an author website or something else like this, an idea for a community or something that you would want to generate, but now if I was trying to create a, a, a website like this, it would probably take hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get it right. But you can now go into Replit, which is one of a handful of different platforms you can use. But now it has all of this and it says, are you ready to build? Approve the plan when you're ready. So I'm just going to say approve the plan. And it goes here and it's got this. Look at that. All of this done in a very short time. And it even has like places that I can go in and put links to different things that I want to link to, videos, things like that. It just gives me a nice look and feel about it. I'm going to come back here. Now, this is like you can chat with AI and say, hey, can you change the look and feel of this website to make it very simple like Apple does? Easy to find things and simple interface. I don't know, just ask it to do something different. You can say, change the title or change the image in the middle over here to be and you give it an upload an image, put this image here. So you don't have to know how to do things. You can ask it to do it for you. You can say book a free call should go to this link so that whenever anybody clicks on that, it goes to this link. So you can talk to it, which is really cool. And if you can formulate ideas, then this is something. Now I'm just going to click deploy. Hold on, let me get this done first. Let it refresh, and then I'll show you the link that it created, the website it created. The other thing with this is I can actually point it to a .com or whatever else that I can just go in here and do that as part of the deploy process. I can say, okay, I want to link this to selfpubmadesimple.net instead of .com or whatever. Maybe I just want one separate website for courses, or in my case, on the other side, I want to make a better writing coach tool. So I gave it a really good spec that I created with ChatGPT, going back and forth. And now I'm kind of chatting with it, with the app, and it's fixing things. It goes through and fixes, it adds. I've got some apps I've done that have like logins and integrations with other tools like Google, and I've just built an integration with Fathom for my coaching tool that I started building. So there's like lots of fun you can have if you're a geek like me, or if you're just looking for something to make things a little easier for yourself. You just have an idea and you want to play this. You don't have to know how to write a line of code at all. So now this is creating, it's going through and recreating things. So on this side, I've got the chat, the chat with the AI. On this side, it gives me the preview of what it's creating and what changes that it's making. Isn't that so cool that you can actually create that yourself? Let's see. Kelly says, for those of you that want to stay until 9 o'clock, she is here. But yes, I am transitioning from my session to be finished. I'm going to log off at 9 Eastern from my YouTube stuff. And you guys get the benefit of Kelly and her amazing knowledge around Canva and design. She's going to be doing some creation of graphics and brainstorming on some great help with design. So hopefully you get an opportunity to stay for that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and deploy. I'm going to approve and just deploy this. Click deploy. There's not a lot that I have to do here, and it's going to give me a place that I can test it. It's kind of cool. But yes, you're probably, oh, now it's saying that there's a bug. So it's going to give me suggestions and that the agent, which is an AI agent, can fix. So I'm going to click debug with agent. Debug with agent. File doesn't exist. Okay. I'll go here. I tried to deploy, but am getting file doesn't exist. Please review and debug. So it goes and does what it needs to do, and then it'll come back and say refresh and try again. So, which I will do. This is really cool. There's also, I'm just gonna flip off over here, and we talked about ChatGPT. So if you go to it's openai.com. If you are in openai.com, which is ChatGPT, where ChatGPT is created, and you log in, let me go, log in. Come on. What's on the agenda today? So I want to create my own custom GPT. It will tell you where to go to actually do it. Go to chat.openai.gpts. So it guides you there. You create your own version. So here you can say create, and now you can create your own GPT, meaning you can configure it to behave any way you want to. You can also upload. You can name it, give it a description, give it instructions. You can be my therapist, whatever. This is what I want you to act as. It also allows you to upload a knowledge base of all of your files. So if you're working on a particular book and you just want a custom GPT that's only going to remember all your things about that book, you can always go through here and create this, even name it. So April's new book. Give it a photo or let DALL-E create one for you. Call it whatever you want. And what I did is I created authorpreneur.ai. You guys have been using it. This is how I created it. I came in here and I created my own version, trained it and told it how I wanted it to behave, where to find all of my files that I want it to remember and to use. And then I can go here and right now it's telling me I need to get Pro. I must be logged in with my regular account instead of my Pro account. But yes, you do need a Pro account. So you need to upgrade to Pro in order to create your own GPTs. But then you can load it up with everything you need. And you can chat with it and tell it exactly how you want it to behave. And then I'll show you here. When I go to my Chat GPT, on the left side here, let's go see here. Where are you? Hold on one second. I think it is letting me know that that the model that I was looking at, I've hit that custom. It only allows you to do so much with the most recent model. So here's a new chat. I'll just go to my authorpreneur. Okay. So here's my own custom AI. And I can still go in and edit it anytime I want to, but here are all the other custom ones I've created, and you can easily do it. I created an AI stock advisor for my husband because he has a certain process that he uses. And it was like he was running all over the place. And I said, let me just make you a GPT, a custom GPT, and put all of the way you like to work in it and let it do whatever, you know. So I'll give it instructions and then let's just say I want the things for Amazon. It does everything he would do manually and puts it all over here for him. So if you've said, I wish I could have somebody help me with a certain process flow or something, and it also tells him at the end if it's a good buying opportunity or not. And he's at the point where he leans on it and says, if my AI guy says no, then I don't buy it. So it's kind of a fun little thing. Writing made simple. This is like the writing. I started doing a writing coach thing, and this is what the app is based on. So I'm integrating it with this. Yeah, you can do a lot by instead of starting from scratch with your Chat GPT. You can put everything you want to say in your own custom GPT, train it for how you want it to behave, and then it's yours. And nobody else, you can continue to train it and do more and more with it and just keep it for yourself, not have to keep saying the same things over and over. So that is some of so now this app has gone in and changed the journey here to be very simple. Similar, I said, make it simple like like Apple does. So it's got all of this here. It's even links to all of the pages and it's got the functionality working correctly. So you can build something for yourself. You can make things better. And hopefully I'll be able to have something more to share with you as I create this app that's supposed to fix some of the issues that I've been coming up with as far as the AI mentor or tutor or writing partner, however you want to refer to it. Any questions or thoughts? Are you guys creative? Are you thinking about doing something like that for yourself?
Not yet. But
okay.
I do have two other quick questions, April.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So one of them is I went into your resources, your resource link, and I was looking for an illustrator, and in the whole spreadsheet, it does not say any of them are illustrators. So I went into the two that I thought.
So here's the thing is with my resource list that I shared with you, these are my pre-vetted list of people.
Yes.
It's multi-tabs. So the first tab that comes up is the editors. Then there's another tab for illustrators. Then there's designers, then video
Oh,
people.
I
So
missed
take,
it. So I
yeah,
only got to the first tab. Thank
yep,
you. I will go
that's
back.
the issue.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
that's
then
the issue.
second quick question is, I'm still trying to get into the KDSpy to direct it to you, but when I go into the bit.ly, it just sends me to google.com to, like KDSpy.com. So I haven't ordered it because I want you to get credit for it, but it's just bouncing me back.
Let me see.
Mm-hmm. So the first time I tried about a week ago, it said that it was no longer connected. The page wasn't found. And then the next day when I tried again, it's just taking me to
Yeah,
Google.
try that. You should be able to see if you click on the link that
That's
I've got there.
yeah,
It's a
that's what I tried. Go, let me
yeah,
see.
try now because it's bringing me right over. Maybe there was some sort of issue with the referral. It could
Where
also be some browsers or security on your own computer might be preventing the kind of like redirect links that are included in this.
So you put capital letters in there?
Yeah, it's got to be the same. Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay,
So if
that
you
must
just
be
click on
it
that,
because
that's
I had
probably the issue.
small letters. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had small letters.
Yeah, it
All
is
right.
case
So
sensitive, so that makes sense.
that's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions?
I have a question. I went in to do a review of the coursework for pre-orders before I did my actual pre-order, and I couldn't find the coursework. It was gone. And then I asked your
Yep.
AI, the question. Oh, yes, it's gone.
So there is some problems. So I have worked with multiple platforms and with my courses and things like that. So I had one platform that I was moving videos out of that course platform into another. And then I finally said, okay, I think I'm all done. I think I can cancel that other one because it was like $150 a month. And I did not want to just keep that going. So I canceled it. And what happened is there was like some redirections were starting to get broken. So my assistant has gone through and started fixing all of those. So I think that should be all better now. So if you go to the courses or
Okay.
different links, it should be good now.
Okay. Great.
So,
Great.
but yes, I apologize for that. I thought we got everything and ended up not being the case.
Well,
So,
so then I used other resources like YouTube, and I
well,
went
yeah. Well, if
video
you
for
end up
pre-orders.
if you do find a broken link or something that's not taking you to where you expected, if you could let us know because we're just,
I did.
moving
Did.
those. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
wrote you a note.
I
Yeah.
think Sakshi is fixing anything that she finds, but were you able to get into your course? Did
No, I
she
haven't
get back
tried
to
it
you?
again.
Okay.
No one got back to me. So I'll try it again since you said you're going through. But I had the question, but I think I worked it out looking at these videos because my question was, I know how you say, okay, put it on pre-order, you charge it 99 cents or whatever, do it for 2 to 3 days. And then I thought, okay, but then what happens after that? Do I have to then, what happens on the fourth day, fifth day, sixth day? What I didn't realize is the pre-order goes all the way, even though you eventually put your interior in
Yeah.
and you put a price in, and then that 99 cents goes away once you put that additional price in and the interior's in.
Sometimes it depends on the size of your interior file. So
Right.
if the file is a decent size and you get all the way through and it's still allowing you to charge 99 cents, then you can just publish and it's fine. If the file is a little bulky, maybe you've got a lot of illustrations and things, and it might say it must be a minimum of $1.99. So
Right.
that's where you would just go through that process and let people know, hey, if you are hoping to get this book for 99 cents, grab it now because I just updated and published, and by tomorrow it's going, or the next day it's going to be up to $3.99 or $9.99, whatever you're doing. So yeah, just use it, but depending on the file size, you may be able to keep it 99 cents, maybe not.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
just so excited because I got back from Amazon and it's on there. So the pre-order, I was able to do it. Yeah.
So
First time ever.
would you like me to just share the book? Let's take a look at what you've got going on.
Oh,
So what's the
okay.
title of the book?
It's you can look it up under Liliana's Match, Finding Bella.
Liliana's, Liliana, Liliana
Liliana's Match, and then
Match,
colon Finding Bella.
Finding Bella. Okay, let's see. Yes, I found it. So good
I
for
don't see
you. It came
it.
up. Let me share. Okay, so we've got Liliana's Match, Finding Bella. Tell us a little bit about the book, and I will share a link to it here as well.
And I do want to tell you that AI helped me. I had written, something, they did help me with that. And they came back saying, "Do you want me to make it so it looks good on Amazon with the dark?" I said, "Yes." And so basically, the story is about how animals help kids who have ADHD and anxiety. And just think about it. How often have you gone to social media and you see those cute little puppies or those, and you are addicted, you keep watching one after another, and it just kind of gives you that feeling, it's just, and so what I'm saying is that animals can do that. And then the theme is adoption, pet adoption or rescue adoption. And so I've kind of intertwined all of that with.
That's great. Yeah, so I posted a link in the chat for anybody that's interested in checking it out or being a part of helping to launch this book. I think it's beautiful and very well done. Pre-order for 99 cents. And then when does the book launch? August 28th.
Yes. Yes.
So the process is pre-order the book. That's going to help with getting this book to a #1 new release and eventually a bestseller, in getting your sales, not just free books, but a sale for 99 cents. Then once the August 28th timeline comes, it turns from a pre-order to available. And that's when those who have pre-ordered the book will receive the book. It'll be available for their Kindle, or you'll get an email from Amazon saying, "Here, the book is here." So at that point, what the launch team and folks that want to help with getting this book launched, what you can do is read through the book and post a review. And that's going to help with social proof. It's going to help with making sure that this is elevated because people are coming in and they're going to this, they're posting reviews. And the goal is to get as many reviews as possible before the paperback actually launches and the hardcover. So I imagine that a couple of weeks after the August 28th date, then you've got your paperback coming shortly after, and your hardcover. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
So
So
I'm
what
going to do it sooner so I can get a copy for myself.
Yeah, so what I would recommend is make sure that you go through your Ingram Spark and your paperback on KDP, and make sure that you get copies and that you then push out the Ingram Spark versions, because they will come through as pre-order if they come to Amazon prior to it being ready to publish, but it'll link your Kindle, your paperback, and your hardcover all in one place so that when people come here, they'll see all the different options that you have.
Thank you for putting that up.
Yeah, and then the last bit is also, now that you've got your ebook up, let's make sure that you add your A+ content to it.
Content, yes. And I need to find it. I'm trying to remember what her name was.
Holly?
I think it's the other one who when you interview her, she's on her bed and she's talking.
Sarah?
I think it's Sarah. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I need to find out how to get a hold of her so that she can do it.
Yeah, I'm happy to share her contact info, but she's full-time school now, so she's less available.
Okay.
She is still helping authors, but a little bit less available. So if you want my #1 recommendation right now for A+ content, it would be Holly at Red Ribbit Designs. So I'm happy to share that contact information with you as well.
That'd be great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing. So I had a question here from Stacy. Let me stop the share here. Stacy says, can you go back to a comment that you made earlier around AI? And you mentioned that because you have Plus, it is not training AI or being seen publicly by anybody. Does that mean if I don't have Plus that I could potentially be having that issue? Yes, unfortunately. Yes. If you are not haven't upgraded to a Plus version, then they could be using the stuff that you upload to train for AI. They're giving you a free service, and they're also they could be using it for training. So if that makes you crazy and you don't want that to happen to you, then I would definitely spend the $20 a month or whatever for a version that is going to be private for yourself. Does that help, Stacy?
Mhm.
A lot of people don't realize that that's an issue, but it is. All right. And you get a lot of other benefits too, by the way, of forgoing and upgrading your ChatGPT version, because you have access to other models. You have the ability to create projects, which is really helpful on you can create new projects and organize chats within the projects so that it helps keep things organized and moving forward well. You can allow it to search the web and do other things. There's a lot of extra benefits with the Plus. The other thing, with me doing the custom apps, then I'm wrapping all of the benefits that I've created in an app that you don't have to have a custom version of ChatGPT to be able to use it, because I'm integrating with that and you don't have to. So it may. Now I might learn that that's not fully the case, but so far what I've found is a pretty easy to use interface that's really helpful and doesn't require other people to have this ChatGPT at all. So I'll let you know as I progress through this. And if you think you might want to be a part of testing out that tool that I'm creating, or if you're building something for yourself and you just, bring it, show us, bring some things together, and love to see what you're creating. Okay. All right, let me just do a quick check here on YouTube. All right, I think we've answered all the questions. So I'm going to say goodbye to my friends on YouTube. We're going to focus on handing the baton over to Kelly so that she can work with you guys on AI, on Canva and designs and all the great stuff that will help you be more productive and create beautiful things you can share as an author. So thank you everybody for joining. Come back again Wednesday of next week. We're here every week at 8 p.m. This is April Cox signing out.